Hello guys, it's Bradley with another video for the membership side. Saw the poll. Looks like we're going to be doing the self-concept or the ultimate self-concept challenge come January. I'm assuming I will make the first video like the 31st or 30th, whatever, and just kind of put it up and we can start on the 1st if that's what you guys want to do. Sounds like a good idea to me. Before we get into that, like the self-concept stuff, I wanted to make a video about like who you really are, right? And the book that really changed my whole life, um, brought me out of like a real depressed state of or even an anxious, worrisome state, was this book called The Power of Now. And I like it so much that I've got two of them. But anyway, so this book helped me grasp like and really realize who I am, right? Like it helped me realize that I'm not my mind and you're not your mind either. You know, I'm sure you've been following the videos where I talk about like everything's connected. Um, you know, your self-concept determines your reality and things like that. But everything is connected through consciousness. Like everything's consciousness. And that's what you actually are. That's what I am. That's what everybody and everything is consciousness. The dog, the giraffe at the zoo right now, everything. And we are actually, me and you are having a human experience, but we are consciousness. We are the universe having a human experience for a little while, being a human being for a little while, right? So there's a human and then there's the being. You are the being. You are the... you are everything. You are consciousness, right? There's nothing bigger than that. Everything comes from consciousness. Eckhart Tolle, the guy who wrote this book, The Power of Now, he has this way of explaining things. So we are the manifested. You know, we manifested in a body, but we came from the unmanifested, which is consciousness. I love, and I mean I love calling it the unmanifested. I love how he says that, because like it seems extremely powerful to me. Like it can't be touched. Everything comes from everything manifests from the unmanifested, right? And then of course me and you, we have dominion and control over what we experience, but it all comes from the unmanifested. God, if you want to call it that. But like I think God has such a way of, just that word in general, you know, like certain people it means different things to everyone, but like the unmanifested, like the untouched, the everything. So you actually are the unmanifested, manifesting as a human being for a while. So even when you hear stuff from Neville Goddard where he's like, your self-concept is the most important viewpoint that you have, but you are infinitely greater than you think you are, that's what he means. When Eckhart Tolle says the beginning of spiritual awakening is the disidentification with mind, that's what he means. He's saying that like once you realize that you're not your mind, that's the beginning of this process of you awakening, because really you are not your mind. Your mind is a tool to be used. But if you're not aware, if you identify with everything that goes on in the mind, then that tool has now started, or it uses you. You know, when you believe the negative thoughts, when you attach to thoughts, even whatever you say after I am, because really you are the I am. You're not I am a doctor, I am a YouTuber, I am this. Like that's what you're choosing in the human experience, but you are actually the I am. Jesus found this out a long time ago. Buddha knew this. You know, there's certain people that have figured this out. Now you have, right? But it's not something that can be told, just like it says in the Tao Te Ching or the power of now. It's something that you have to feel on your own, and it can't be explained. But you start doing this when you disidentify with mind, when you become aware of your thoughts instead of believing them or thinking that that's who you are. So in this self-concept challenge that we're about to do, it's gonna be fun. It should be fun to build a cool human character, like an avatar, like some say, and to experience certain particular things in this that comes with that human being itself, that comes with that state of being. But again, before we get into that, I want you to realize that you are much more vast, much deeper, much larger than anything that your that tool of a brain that you have can think up on its own. So when you come from this place, like when you start practicing presence, like I've talked about in some of the videos of putting your energy in your body, feeling that aliveness within, and you stop like getting caught up in the past and the future. Because the reason I was so depressed back in the day and so sad and so in such lower states of being is because I was caught up in a past. My identity was in all the things that happened to me, right? And then I'd be worrisome or hopeful or whatever about the future because I was like, oh, I'm going to find myself in this perceived future moment. And like Eckhart says in this book, the past gives us an identity and the future holds the promise of salvation. Both are illusions. There is no past, there is no future. Anytime we want to manifest something, we're doing it in the now, right? When we've only ever lived in the now. So when we get out of this identification with mind and we can say, okay, I'm actually not my past, and it's just thoughts that I keep identifying with. I'm actually way bigger than any concept that I can think of in the future of an initial human experience. Both are illusions. Past and future do not exist. I am this now, but like underneath of whatever you want to be, like in your subconcept, like confident, sexy, smart, business owner, entrepreneur, married, whatever, like whatever it is that you're trying to embody in this new whole another level self-concept kind of thing, underneath all of that, you are the unmanifested. And when you stop identifying with mind, and you realize that, like I said, you put your attention in your body and you just look around at the present moment, and you feel that safety and that security, that power of not thinking for a second, that's who you truly are. So, like Edgar says, you are not your thoughts, you are the observer of the thought, you are the watcher, consciousness. So now going into the self-concept stuff, you could say, okay, I'm already everything. I am as big as it gets. I'm the unmanifested. What human experience do I want to have next? Because that makes it a whole lot easier to stop identifying with things that happened in the past. That makes it a whole lot easier to fall for that promise of salvation in the future, that when I get this, when I get that, when I get this, I'll be happy, I'll feel love. Like the present moment, past and future doesn't exist. You will feel your wholeness. You will feel the love right here. And the more you embody this, the more you realize that like this is an internal game for the human experience. It's a game. It's fun. You can pick whatever you want. And you don't need things to be different while things are taking shape, because you're already whole and complete. And really, that's the ultimate self-concept, is to remember who you are. Or that's who you are, and then the ultimate self-concept is built off of that. Because really now it's a lot easier to say, man, I'm the fucking best. I am wonderful. I'm magical. I'm magnetic. I'm love. I am, like, whatever you're trying to embody. It's a lot easier to believe that, a lot easier to feel that, a lot easier to step into that state, because you're doing it from a place of power, of a place from this actually is who you already are. So I also would encourage anybody to get this book, The Power of Now. It's a lot deeper understanding of all the illusion that we fall for. The idea that I made this channel for was to keep myself accountable, to start the journey to mastering self, and one of the biggest takeaways that I've learned throughout this whole thing is that self is like, I'm already master. Me thinking that I'm not, me thinking that I'm missing something, me thinking that I got to do this to get better, like all that stuff is just the human stuff. Like who I actually am is absolute perfect. It's perfection, just like you. It's God. It's the unmanifested. So, yeah, get this book. Read it. Like, it's amazing. It'll help you realize that the insanity of the mind sometimes, you know, because we have all these questions like, I can't stop thinking negatively, I can't stop thinking negative. And it's like, man, like we get out of the mind in general. That's what I've been starting to talk about. I used to talk about it a lot on the channel, but I'm bringing it back. But it's just about disidentifying and not believing that you are this mind. So you start there, realizing that you are the unmanifested, that you are everything. Then picking your self-concept that you want to experience in the human experience kind of thing. It's cake. So just wanted to put that little preview video out before we start the whole thing. All right, that's all I got, and I'll see you guys in the next video.